Hi, this is Jamie Parker from the Millbrook Middle School Gazette. I've been investigating something really weird happening at our school, and guys, I think I found something that's going to sound completely crazy. But I need you to listen to me because this is important. There's a hallway in our school that doesn't end where it's supposed to. And if you've been walking down it, you need to stop. Right now. 3 days ago, my friend Tommy Rodriguez came up to me during lunch looking really scared. You know Tommy from my last report. He's that kid from elementary who's been seeing the new kid everywhere. Well, Tommy grabbed my sleeve and was like, "Jamie, you have to help me. I got lost in school yesterday and I don't think I was supposed to see what I saw." I was eating my sandwich and honestly thought he was just being dramatic. But Tommy's not usually the type to make stuff up. He told me he was walking to the bathroom during third period when he took a wrong turn and ended up in the east hallway near the science rooms. Except, he said, the hallway kept going, and going, and going. It was like walking through a tunnel, Tommy said, his voice getting really quiet. The lockers just kept going forever, and there were doors with numbers I'd never seen before. Some of them had years on them instead of room numbers, like 1987 and 2003 and stuff like that. I thought maybe Tommy just got confused. You know how the school layout can be weird, especially for elementary kids. But then Sarah June from AV Club came over and said she'd heard other kids talking about the same thing. Apparently, there have been rumors about the east hallway for weeks now. My sister's friend said she walked down it for like 20 minutes looking for the bathroom, Sarah told me. When she finally found a door that led back to the main hallway, she checked her watch and only 3 minutes had passed. She was so freaked out she went to the nurse. That's when I decided I had to investigate. I mean, this is exactly the kind of story the Gazette should be covering, right? So yesterday after school, I grabbed my recorder and convinced Sarah to come with me. She stayed at the entrance to the east hallway with her radio so we could keep in contact while I explored. The weird thing was, at first everything looked totally normal. Just your typical school hallway. Those ugly yellow walls, the scratched up lockers, the smell of cleaning supplies and whatever they serve in the cafeteria. I walked past room 201, 202, 203, just like always. But then I got to where the hallway should have ended, where it usually turns left toward the gym. And it just kept going straight. I pressed the button on my radio and said, "Sarah, you still there?" "Yeah, I'm here." Her voice crackled back. "How far have you walked?" "Maybe 50 feet past where the hallway should end," I said, looking around. The lockers looked the same, but something felt different. The fluorescent lights seemed dimmer, and there was this weird echo to my footsteps that wasn't there before. That's when I saw the first door that didn't belong. Room 1987. Not room 287, or anything normal like that. Literally just 1987 painted on the door in that same faded white paint they use for all the room numbers. I tried the handle, but it was locked. Through the little window I could see desks arranged in perfect rows, but the style was different. Older. Like something from my dad's old yearbooks. "Sarah, I'm seeing some really weird stuff," I radioed back. "There's a door here marked 1987, and it looks like a classroom from way back when." "What do you mean?" Sarah's voice was getting staticky. "I mean, it looks like an actual classroom from 1987. Like, the desks are those old wooden ones with the metal frames, and there's one of those ancient overhead projectors in the corner." I kept walking, and the hallway just kept going. More doors. 1963. 1974. 1999. 2008. Some of them had lights on inside, and I could hear faint sounds coming from behind the doors. Muffled voices. The squeak of chalk on a blackboard. Kids laughing. The really creepy part was that some of the doors looked newer than others, even though they were all in the same hallway. Like, the door marked 2008 had that modern frosted glass, while 1963 had one of those thick wooden doors with the wire mesh windows. "Jamie, you've been walking for like 15 minutes. Sarah's voice came through, even more staticky now. How long is this hallway? I looked at my watch. She was right. I'd been walking for 15 minutes, but it felt like maybe 5, and I could still see the hallway stretching ahead of me, disappearing into darkness. That's when I heard it. A voice coming from one of the classrooms, clear as day even through the closed door. Remember, class, the routine is what keeps us safe. The routine is what makes us strong. Let's recite the schedule together. And then, in unison, kids' voices. First period, 8:15 to 9:05. Second period, 9:10 to 10. I pressed my ear to the door marked 1995 and listened. The voices were definitely kids, but they sounded off. Like they were reciting something they'd said 1,000 times before. There was no energy in it, no personality. Just this flat mechanical recitation. "Sarah, are you getting this?" I whispered into the radio, but all I got back was static. I tried the door handle, locked, just like the others. But through the window I could see kids sitting in those same perfect rows, all facing forward, all moving in sync. When the teacher pointed to the board, every head turned at exactly the same angle. When she asked a question, every hand shot up at the same time. And at the back of the classroom, in the last row, was a kid I recognized. The new kid, the one who's been showing up in everyone's classes. He was sitting there with that same smile, but his eyes were focused on the window, on me. He mouthed something, and even though I couldn't hear him through the glass, I could read his lips. "Help me." I stumbled backwards and almost dropped my recorder. The new kid was in there, in a classroom from 1995, looking exactly the same as he does now. Same clothes, same smile, same everything. I kept walking. Faster now, checking each door as I passed. 1981, 1989, 1996, 2004, 2011, 2016. And in every single classroom that had the lights on, I could see the same thing. Kids sitting in perfect rows, reciting schedules and rules and procedures. And in the back of each room, always in the back, was the new kid. Same smile, same clothes, same age. "This is impossible," I said to my recorder, my voice shaking a little. "The new kid is in every classroom, every single one. But they're from different years." I tried my radio again. Sarah, can you hear me?" Nothing but static. I started walking faster, looking for a way out. But every door I tried was locked, and the hallway just kept going. Some of the doors had small windows that let me peek inside, others didn't. But I could hear voices coming from all of them. Kids reciting, teachers giving the same instructions over and over. The routine is what keeps us safe. The routine is what makes us strong. That's when I noticed something else. On the floor, scattered around like someone had dropped them, were detention slips. But they weren't the normal pink ones we get. These were older, different colors, different formats. I picked one up. It was dated 1994, made out to someone named Daniel Morrison. The reason for detention was listed as disrupting class routine, encouraging non-compliance, questioning authority. I picked up another one. Same name, Daniel Morrison. But this one was from 1997, refusing to participate in standardized testing, spreading anti-routine propaganda. Another one from 2001, another from 2005, another from 2009, all made out to Daniel Morrison. All for the same kinds of things: disrupting routine, questioning authority, refusing to comply with schedules. I looked closer at the most recent one, from 2016. In the signature line, instead of a teacher's name, there was just a simple drawing. A smiley face. That's when I heard footsteps echoing from somewhere behind me. Not the sharp click of dress shoes like teachers wear, but the soft squeak of sneakers on linoleum. Kid footsteps. I turned around, and there he was, the new kid. Not behind a classroom door this time, but standing right there in the hallway with me. Still smiling, but his eyes looked tired. Really, really tired. "You shouldn't be here," he said. And his voice was different than I expected. Not the cheerful voice of a regular student. It was hollow, like he was talking through a tunnel. "Who are you?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "What is this place?" "I'm Daniel," said, and his smile flickered for just a second. I've been here for a long time, and you need to leave before they notice you're missing. Before who notices? The routine, Daniel said. It doesn't like it when students break pattern. When they go places they're not supposed to go. When they see things they're not supposed to see. I held up the detention slips. These are all yours, aren't they? Daniel Morrison. His smile faltered again, and for a moment he looked like he might cry. I tried to help them, he whispered. All of them. The students in the classrooms. I tried to show them they didn't have to follow the routine, that they could think for themselves. What happened? The routine got hungry, Daniel said. It wanted to keep them forever. Perfect students who never questioned anything, never caused problems, never broke the pattern. And when I tried to stop it, he gestured around the endless hallway. It put me here, to watch, to remember what I couldn't save. I looked at the classroom doors stretching into the darkness ahead and behind. Are those kids real? They were, Daniel said. Now they're just echoes, repeating the same lessons, the same schedules, the same routines, over and over forever. The footsteps were getting closer now, and I could hear other sounds too. Doors opening and closing. The squeak of chalk on blackboards. Kids reciting in unison. You have to go, Daniel said urgently, right now before it realizes you're here. How do I get out? Think about where you came from. Really think about it. Remember what the hallway looked like before it changed. Remember the smell of the cleaning supplies, the sound of the bells, the feel of the normal school around you. I closed my eyes and tried to remember. The ugly yellow walls. The scratched lockers. The turn toward the gym that should have been there. The normal, boring, everyday school that I'd walked through 1,000 times. When I opened my eyes, Daniel was gone. But I could hear his voice echoing from somewhere far away. Tell them to remember who they were before the routine. Tell them the pattern is hungry. Tell them I'm sorry I couldn't save them. I started running. Past the classroom doors, past the detention slips, scattered on the floor, past the impossible years painted on doorways. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs ached, focusing on the memory of normal school, normal hallways, normal life. And then, suddenly I was there. The hallway ended where it was supposed to end. The turn toward the gym was right there in front of me. The walls were the same ugly yellow. The lockers were scratched and dented and completely, wonderfully normal. Jamie! Sarah's voice came through the radio clear as day. Jamie, where are you? You've been gone for like 3 minutes and you're not answering. I looked at my watch. She was right. According to my watch, I'd only been walking for 3 minutes, but according to my recorder, I'd been gone for over an hour. I'm here, I said into the radio. I'm coming back. When I got back to Sarah, she took one look at my face and said, You look like you've seen a ghost. Maybe I have, I said. I've been thinking about what Daniel told me. About the routine being hungry, about students who get trapped in patterns and can't break free. And I've been noticing things around school that I never paid attention to before. The way some kids walk to their lockers at exactly the same time every day. The way they sit in the same seats, eat the same lunch, follow the same path through the hallways. The way they answer questions in that same flat, mechanical voice I heard coming from the classrooms. I've been watching for kids who might be showing signs of getting trapped in the pattern. Kids who seem to be losing their personalities, their individuality, their ability to think for themselves. And I've been leaving messages. In bathroom stalls, tucked into lockers, written on the margins of textbooks. Simple messages like, remember who you were before the routine, and the pattern is hungry. Don't let it take you. Because Daniel was right. The routine is hungry. And it's not just in that impossible hallway. It's everywhere in our school. In the bells that ring at exactly the same time every day. In the announcements that repeat the same information over and over. In the way we're all supposed to sit in rows, think the same thoughts, give the same answers. But here's the thing. Daniel also showed me something important. The routine can be fought, it can be resisted. Students can break free from the pattern if they remember who they are underneath all the schedules and rules and procedures. So if you're listening to this and you go to Millbrook Middle School, I need you to do something for me. I need you to remember who you were before you learned to follow the routine. Remember what made you different, what made you special, what made you you. And if you ever find yourself in the east hallway and it seems to go on longer than it should, turn around, walk back. Don't try to explore like I did. Because Daniel's still there, watching over those trapped students, and he's been alone for way too long. The routine is hungry, but it can only take you if you let it. Remember that. Remember who you are. This is Jamie Parker, signing off. And if you have any information about the Infinite Hallway, or if you've seen Daniel Morrison, please find me. I'll be in the newspaper office during lunch. Stay safe, stay aware, and whatever you do, don't let the routine take you. The pattern is hungry. Don't feed